Allow your awareness to soften now, like a quiet breeze dissolving into the vast, open sky of your being. Let yourself gently sink into the subtle, shimmering space where the search for awakening quietly begins. And notice how this search, this longing, this tireless quest to become something more, something awakened, is itself the delicate veil that both conceals and reveals the truth. There is a profound irony here, a cosmic jest that dances just beyond the edges of your mind's grasp. The one who seeks is, in fact, the very shadow cast over what is already perfectly radiant and complete. Imagine the seeker as a mist, a gentle fog swirling across the landscape of your consciousness, obscuring the luminous mountain that has stood undiminished all along. This mist, so earnest and persistent, believes that the summit lies somewhere ahead, somewhere else, somewhere beyond the reach of this present moment, even though the mountain's brilliance is always right here, untouched by the wandering fog. You may have carried this seeker like a precious lantern, lighting darkened corridors of your inner world with hopeful anticipation, believing that the light you seek resides just beyond some future threshold. But pause now and sense the exquisite paradox. This seeker, the one who is always looking, always striving, always questioning, is itself a tender, trembling veil that both hides and reveals the boundless awakening that never actually left you. Feel the spaciousness that arises when you allow the idea of the seeker to softly unravel, like an ancient thread coming loose from a richly woven tapestry. You have been taught, perhaps unknowingly, that awakening is a destination, a prize to be won, a state to be achieved, as if your true nature were a distant island shrouded in mist, waiting for a brave voyager to finally arrive. Let that story fall away now with gentle ease, like autumn leaves quietly releasing their hold on the branches, drifting down to nourish the earth beneath. The seeking itself is the very story that keeps the treasure out of reach, a loop of longing that never quite touches what it seeks because it believes that the treasure lies somewhere else, somewhere beyond the current horizon of your being. Yet what if the treasure you are pursuing is not a thing to be obtained but the very ground on which you stand, the vast, unbounded presence that is the silent backdrop of all experience? The seeking creates a subtle separation, a dance of distance between the observer and the observed, the knower and the known, the self and the self. This dance is tender and persistent, but it need not be your permanent posture. You can gently exhale now and release the tight grip of the quest, sensing the profound relief that arises when the seeker's veil is seen for what it is, a delicate mirage shimmering in the heat of your own longing. Notice how this recognition does not demand that you annihilate the seeker or push it away, but rather invites you to hold it with a spacious, forgiving heart, as you might hold a child who is lost in play, unaware that the home they seek is just behind them. The seeker's desire is not the enemy. It is a beloved expression of the human heart's innocent confusion about what is already here. It is the laughter of the universe in disguise, the cosmic joke that the one who searches is already found, that the one who chases the horizon is walking on the very shore it imagines it must reach. Allow yourself to feel the tender humor of this truth, the warm, luminous absurdity that you have been both the chaser and the chased all along. The question and the answer, the veil and the revealing light. This is not a failure of the seeker, but its exquisite purpose, to awaken you to the realization that you have never actually been separate from the awakening you seek. The seeker is the gentle, persistent hand pointing you back to the open sky of your own being, inviting you to rest, finally, in the vastness that has never moved, never changed, never needed to be found. As you settle into this spacious understanding, allow the layers of your identity as seeker to gently dissolve like morning mists you meeting the warmth of the sun. Feel the soft, expansive freedom that blooms when you no longer believe that awakening is a distant prize, but recognize it as the very ground beneath your feet. the silent luminosity behind every breath, the timeless presence that witnesses all seeking without judgment or urgency. You are invited now to rest in this open space where there is no need to fix, to change, to pursue, or to become. Here in this luminous stillness, the seeker's tension softens into a gentle curiosity, a lightness of being that carries no burden or expectation. The cosmic dance of searching and finding collapses into a single flowing movement, like the seamless rhythm of tides rising and falling, inseparable and whole. This is the profound, hilarious simplicity of what is already the case, the awakening that never needed to be sought because it has always been and will always be the unshakable essence of your own presence. Feel how this realization opens a deep, quiet space within you, a sanctuary untouched by striving or resistance, where the seeker's restlessness can settle like a quiet lake reflecting the infinite sky. In this stillness, the mind's stories about needing to become awake lose their grip, revealing their true nature as gentle ripples on the surface of a vast, unchanging ocean. You are the ocean itself, boundless, serene, and utterly complete, while the seeker is merely a wave rising and falling, momentary and beautiful, yet inseparable from the whole. Let yourself dissolve now into this oceanic presence, where the search is no longer a burden, but a dance, where the veil of seeking parts effortlessly to reveal the luminous face of awakening that has always been smiling behind it. You are invited to rest here, in this radiant simplicity, allowing the profound relief of knowing that the search itself is the sweet, tender veil that gently cradles what it longs for, and that what you seek is already, always the very ground of your being. Allow your awareness to settle gently now, as you begin to sense the subtle, almost imperceptible presence of the seeker, the restless figure who has been tirelessly chasing after awakening, as if it were a hidden gem, a distant star, a secret whispered just beyond reach. Notice how this seeker has been woven into the very fabric of your experience, the persistent character who rises with the dawn and lingers long into the night, fueled by an urgent hope and a quiet desperation to find something more, something beyond the endless cycles of thought and feeling. Yet as you breathe into this moment, a delicate invitation arises to recognize the exquisite paradox that the seeker you have been following so devotedly is, in fact, the very veil that conceals the awakening you long for. This seeker, with all its earnest searching and ceaseless questioning, is not the separate self it appears to be, but rather the shimmering mist that cloaks the luminous presence already here, already awake, already whole. Feel the gentle unraveling of this profound irony as it begins to dawn softly within you. The one who seeks is the very thing that hides the treasure. The seeker is the delightful joke played by existence, the cosmic wink that invites you to laugh in the face of your own longing. Imagine a vast mirror, flawless and still, reflecting the entire universe with perfect clarity. Yet in your hand is a tiny cloth, and you have been diligently wiping this mirror, believing that somewhere beneath the smudge lies a secret truth to be unveiled. But what if the smudge, the cloth, and the act of wiping are all part of the reflection itself? What if the mirror has never been clouded, and the light you seek has never been absent? As you rest here with this knowing, the edges of the seeker begin to soften and dissolve into the very presence it sought to find, and you begin to sense the boundless space that has always held this dance of seeking and finding. Allow yourself to explore the layers of this paradox a little further, like peeling back the petals of a flower that unfolds endlessly toward the sun. The seeker moves through time as if awakening is a destination on a map, a goal to be reached after traversing many miles of spiritual terrain. But awakening is not a point in the distance. It is the ground beneath your feet, the air flowing through your lungs, the silent awareness that notices the seeker itself. The one who looks for the path is the path. This is the profound simplicity that cannot be grasped by the restless mind because it is already the case, and yet it is as fresh and immediate as the breath you are taking now. The seeker's quest creates a beautiful tension, a sacred dance between longing and arrival. But ultimately, it is the longing itself, a movement within the ocean of presence that is already still. Feel the spaciousness that opens when you cease to struggle against the presence of the seeker, when you begin to see it not as an enemy or a problem to solve, but as a tender expression of your own seeking heart. The seeker longs for awakening because it is caught in the mesmerizing spell of separation, believing that somewhere beyond the horizon lies a more complete version of itself. Yet this separation is a subtle illusion, a play of shadows on the wall of the infinite cave, a dance of light and dark that cannot exist without each other. The seeker's desire is the flame, but the flame itself is inseparable from the light that illuminates the entire room. When you rest in the awareness that holds the seeker, you see that this figure is not missing anything. It is already perfectly included in the fullness of what is. Consider now the exquisite humor of this cosmic jest. The seeker is both the question and the answer, the hunter and the hunted, the veil and the unveiled. It is as if existence has dressed itself in the costume of searching, only to reveal that the searcher and the sought are one seamless reality, inseparable and whole. Imagine a vast sky with clouds drifting across its face. The clouds move, change shape, and sometimes obscure the sun. Yet the sun remains undiminished, shining through every form. The seeker is like a cloud, temporary, shifting, and insubstantial, while the awakening is the sun, constant and radiant beyond all appearances. To realize that you are both the clouds and the sun simultaneously is to step into a freedom so vast that all chasing falls away. All striving softens into a gentle resting, and the laughter of the cosmos rings clear and true within your heart. Let this laughter ripple through your being now, the laughter of the universe at the intricate, tender dance of the seeker trying to find itself, unaware that it is already found. This laughter is not mockery, but the profound relief of recognizing the exquisite simplicity beneath all complexity. The timeless truth that what you seek is not somewhere else, not in another place or time, but here, now, in the very breath that moves through you. The seeker is a beloved character in the story of awakening, a necessary expression of the human experience. Yet it is not the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is the radiant awareness that looks out through the eyes of the seeker, the stillness that underlies the restless waves, the unchanging presence that embraces all movement. Feel how your body softens, your mind quiets, and your heart expands as you rest in this spacious freedom. There is no need to chase, no need to grasp, no need to fix or improve or become. You are invited to simply be the awareness that witnesses the seeker's dance, the knowing that embraces the question without needing an answer, the presence that holds the longing without resistance. This is the profound liberation of recognizing the myth of the seeker, the beautiful, tender mirage that disappears when you look directly at it, revealing the ever-present simplicity of what is. Breathe deeply now into this revelation, allowing it to permeate every cell, every fiber of your being. You are not separate from awakening. You are awakening itself, the unbroken, radiant presence that has never left and never will. The seeker is a gentle ripple on the vast ocean of your true nature, a fleeting wave that rises and falls without changing the depth beneath. Rest in the profound peace that comes from knowing you are both the wave and the ocean, the question and the answer, the seeker and the sought, all unfolding perfectly together in the endless now.